So today I've decided to bite the bullet, or more like bite the fucking needle, because of the whole corona thing. Now, before I get into this topic of the video, I guess I'm going to say fuck vaccine mandates, fuck Jacinda Ardern, and fuck this fascism of the government that makes us, that is trying to badger us into taking this vaccine for this virus. I believe it's all fear-mongering, really. I mean, I don't really think that the coronavirus is the plague that it's made out to be, you know. Like, apparently the vast majority of people don't even end up in hospital, and it's something like 1% of people who end up actually in intensive care in the hospital, you know. So I heard there's fairly low risk of getting really fucked up from this thing anyway, but yeah, the government seems to act like it's the whole next plague that's come about. For me, with my health issues and shit, I already feel like I've got bigger things to worry about than a fucking Chinese flu. And especially since I think, you know, they talk about people dying from the coronavirus, but look at how many people die around the country from flu every year. Just the normal flu can kill people. And apparently the flu is still not so much now, like over the last couple of years, but in general the flu has killed more people, you know, annually, like every year, than the coronavirus does within the country. I'm not exactly 100% informed on statistics, but I know that generally the flu does kill a lot of people in general, and I'm pretty sure it's more than the coronavirus. And yet the coronavirus is like all that the fucking government talks about. I turn on the radio, all I hear is coronavirus. I look at the news, all I hear is coronavirus. You know, what we don't hear about though, which I think is a worse problem in a way for especially young guys, is depression and suicide. The suicide isn't the same as, you know, catching a virus. A lot of people don't have sympathy for a death that is optional, you know, something that we don't, you know, that isn't forced upon us, it's our own doing. But it's something I think that the government should really focus on. I think, you know, our quality of life and the things that drive us towards that, because you know, depression, especially among guys, it's a fucking horrible thing, and I think that's something that's more important than the fucking coronavirus. But anyway, I'm getting off fucking subject. So, in my country, we've had these things called vaccine mandates. It's not like, well, it's not like the mandates overseas where they're like, they're wanting people to actually like you legally have to get it, sort of thing, you know. So they're having all these marches against it. I mean, if they legally told me that, like, I didn't have a choice, I'd tell them to fuck off and I would fight it. You know, like, over here we get a choice, you know, like, there's a choice for anybody anyway. You can stand up to the government and stuff, you know, whether how far you're willing to go. But the thing is that, you know, over here, they don't try and, like, make you have it in a way like some of the other countries where they're making it like the law kind of shit. But they have this thing where they're trying to basically coerce people into doing it by taking our fucking rights away from us. So, you know, our daily sort of day-to-day activities that we would go to, you know, Jacinda Ardern is like creating this fucking minority sort of underclass, second-class citizens who are somewhat segregated to a degree from the people who are the vaccinated. So it's sort of like this big kind of thing between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. Although the unvaccinated are somewhat of a minority, that doesn't mean we're not like an important, you know, class of people. A lot of people I know, you know, some people have lost jobs over it. Some people I know at the place I've been working at, they don't have, you know, they don't make it like a mandatory thing, so you get fired if you won't have it, sort of thing. But I know some workplaces have that in place where, you know, like if they're a teacher or if they're in any kind of government job, they're basically badgered into getting this thing where they lose their job which is really shit. But with us, they have these things in place where we have these bullshit vaccine passport things, which is kind of like, to me it's reminiscent of a few decades ago in a certain world war where government officials would ask you for your papers upon I guess going out places or checkpoints or whatever. That's how it feels anyway. So they're requiring you to carry this stupid vaccine pass ID card, which in my opinion might as well just be a barcode, like eventually it fucking will be. That's just one way of segregating people like that. And but anyway, this thing is required for fucking going out in public to certain things like you can't get into most restaurants if you don't have this fucking vaccine pass thing. So I had a friend like a couple of weeks ago that I was supposed to be going out to a restaurant with. We tried the sushi place, then we tried the Indian place, then somewhere else, and we ended up fucking getting like takeaway Indian and just fucking eating it like on the street because we couldn't get into a fucking restaurant. I go to the music store to buy my friend a fucking present, and they tell me that I can't go in without a vaccine pass, despite the fact that there's less than 10 people in the shop pretty much at all times anyway. And yet places like the Warehouse, which is like, I guess it's the New Zealand equivalent of like, I guess Walmart, kind of like the American version, like a big warehouse full of a shitload of people, that's open, no problem. But the fucking guy at the music store tells me that we can't fucking, that they can't have people in because apparently we're a threat to their staff and shit, like it's fucking ridiculous. It's like, if they're all vaccinated, why are they afraid of the unvaccinated? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if the fucked up thing is with this whole vaccine pass shit is that even if you've had both shots, even if you're fucking carrying your pass, you've had both shots, whatever, you're still contagious. You can still contract it. You're not immune. You can still get it and you can still pass it on. It's just fucking bullshit, So what I don't understand is how the efficiency of this vaccine depends on the fucking, is judged by the people who don't fucking have it. It's so fucking retarded. So it's like all these people are worried about the unvaccinated as if the unvaccinated are a fucking threat, and it's like if they've had their shot, what are they worried about if it's so freaking, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But anyway, they'll stop you going into certain fucking shops, stop you from going into restaurants and bars. I think it's fucking hilarious that you've got everybody in bars, they can still catch the virus and they're up close with each other, and they can still pass it on and they can still get it. Yet they're afraid of an unvaccinated person coming in, despite the fact that all the people in there can still catch it, it doesn't really make any fucking sense to me, People, the way they talk about unvaccinated people as if like we're a bigger threat, when everybody can still catch it. Anyway, I'm rambling, but restaurants and bars are one thing, anybody who watches my videos knows that I should fucking stay away from bars anyway. Places make me fucking depressed as hell, but I do like going to the odd band, I quite like the odd live band and things like that. And so yeah, I can't go into bars, can't go into restaurants, certain shops I can't go into, couldn't go to the fucking hairdressers. My other hairdresser I went to the first time, they wouldn't let me in, so I found another one. So I can still get my hair cut. It looks fucking messy at the moment, but what do I give a shit? I've been in my job. And so it's not just that. The fact is that I can't go to my fucking medical appointment, my fucking clinic appointment to treat one of my fucking symptoms because they tell me I need a fucking vaccine pass to get in, which is absolute horseshit. And I said to them, why can't I just give you a negative test, why can't I just give them a test? It literally says that I'm negative. They tell me that isn't good enough. They tell me that it's okay to go in if I have a fucking pass that says I've had 2 shots, yet I can still contract it and I can still pass it on. yet giving them a negative test that actually says I haven't got the thing isn't good enough. Like, to me, that doesn't say anything about health and safety. That's just about control. You know, and after this, you know, they're already talking about fucking, I don't even think in this country we've even had our first set of booster shots, and now they're already talking about the fucking second one. You know, they reckon that after fucking 5 months this injection the efficiency goes down to something like 53%, so they want people to have these booster shots, so they're going to be like a fucking 5-monthly thing or something like that. You know, like, where the hell does this shit end? It's just retarded. So I just decided to make a rant about this, because if you don't hear back from me, or if nobody fucking hears back from me, it's probably because I've got myocarditis or something as a secondary symptom, or something I've developed from the shot. So I was hardcore against getting the vaccine, because I just think, I'm not really worried about coronavirus myself. Like, I mean, I'm in the one city of the country that has a fuckload of it compared to the rest of the country. You know, so I feel like I'm playing Russian roulette every time I go to the damn supermarket. Yet still, I don't know anybody who's had it. I ask a lot of people, you know, do you know anybody who's had coronavirus? And nobody has. Nobody knows anybody. But still, you know, like, I don't like the idea of catching it, but at the same time, I don't trust the company that's been sued for fucking millions, that apparently wanted the governments to all agree, who they're giving the vaccine to apparently that Pfizer company wants, like, all of the governments to sign something so it prevents them getting sued in the future. So any future lawsuits to do with complications down the track of any side effects from their injection, they want to be have immunity from any future lawsuits. And I think that sounds shady as fuck. You know, like, I can understand a company wanting to cover its ass to a degree, but, you know, it's like they're anticipating it. You know, and the things that I've read up about, like, people who develop myocarditis, which is an inflammation of the heart tissue, I think, you know, it's like, even if you don't get that, it's like, you might be getting some sort of heart damage anyway, you know? It's sort of like, you know, if you drink a shitload, you could either end up with getting your stomach pumped, or you could end up with, there's a thing called pancreatitis, which is like the inflammation of the pancreas that you can get from, like, really binging hard out on alcohol sometimes, and that's an extreme case. But, you know, just because you don't get either of those two things doesn't mean that, like, say, drinking is good for you, you know? Like, you could be, like, doing your liver damage anyway. So it's kind of like with this injection, it sounds a bit fucked up me talking about this, considering how much of a drinker I am. But the thing is that, like, for me, I feel like just because you might not get the heart inflammation, you might still be doing damage to it, you know? Like, I heard some video where they were talking about increased heart attack risk, things like that. Like, I really don't want to have this fucking thing, I really don't trust the fucking company. I don't trust, like, the government. Hell, I don't even trust anybody, really. But, I mean, this just seems a bit fucking shady to me. This whole thing, like, the whole coronavirus thing to me. And I just think it's crazy that everybody just jumps on the fucking vaccine because the government has told them to, you know? Like, people are just such sheep, you know? It's like vaping and shit like that, you know? Everybody just jumps on the new thing without even looking at what's in the ingredients or anything. You know, but I kind of feel like with my life, you know, I'm kind of living a little bit of a YOLO kind of life these days. Like, I don't really take things as seriously because I'm just so, I think, you know, like, I'm kind of fucked anyway, so I kind of feel like taking a gamble isn't really as bad as it used to be. But at the same time, I like try and eat, like, organic everything, filtered water. I try and eat as healthy as I can most of the time, apart from when I'm lazy and I get pizza and stuff. But, like, with everything else, I guess I'm taking risks, so in a way I feel like, fuck it, you know, I'll do it. But I just want to say that I really don't want to, and I feel like I'm fucking coerced into this. You know, like, I could avoid bars, I could avoid fucking restaurants and going out to concerts and all of that other shit, I guess I can live without. But when they tell me that I can't go to my clinic appointment to get my fucking treatment unless I haven't, you know, unless I've had these shots, I think, well, you know, fuck them. I just, you know, it's just fucking wrong, I reckon, you know. That's really bad. But, oh well, I guess it looks like they fucking won, because I'm going to go get my second fucking shot. I got my first one because I took so much time off the job, and you know, and I figured it'd keep my boss off my back, to be honest. That, and I figured that the first one wasn't as bad anyway. But yeah, like, I'm gonna go get this fucking thing now. I'll probably come back to this video maybe in a couple of days. I don't know, but yeah, most people watching this will probably be I guess if anyone sees this, they'll probably be the pro-vaxxer people who will be like, oh, you know, just fucking do whatever everybody else does in case, you know, otherwise you're uncool and you're freaking weird and different and shit. Fuck that. You know, like, I don't do what everybody else freaking does, you know. I like to think for myself, really, but yeah, anyway.